We also have to deal with Paa Joe, and he is dealing with a really, really unique media. See, he's creating coffins. And these are unusual. These are influenced by pop art, and we see these forms a little bit before Paa Joe, but he's the one who really makes them famous. And the idea is this is a reflection of the person being buried in it. So maybe the person is a dairy farmer. Maybe the person took a trip that was the trip of a lifetime. And they want to remember that in death. Either way, we get these caskets. So it represents the deceased, their life, and their desires in a lot of different ways. And Paa Joe, as well as other family members, will continue this tradition. This is an older tradition that goes back well into the middle of the 20th century. Now, today, many of these actually go to art galleries and collections. Very few are actually used. They've become so popular in the art market that they kind of price them out of actually using them as caskets. And of course, you can be buried in a Nokia phone. Then at least you'll know that your body is forever safe, just like that phone that will never, ever die. So what's happening is these pieces are getting picked up by the art market. They become increasingly popular. They become increasingly valuable, which means the original tradition starts to suffer. But these pieces, just like all African art, are also very diverse. And before you think, well, that's absolutely ridiculous, I would never be buried in a chicken, let me remind you that every couple of years we hear a story about someone being wired to their Harley Davidson and buried on the bike, surrounded by a giant plexiglass box. So, yeah, given the opportunity, I think many of us would happily be buried inside a chicken or any number of other forms.